It should be huge. You can't miss it.
I be at least 10 feet tall.
Yeah, 3 dwarves high, and yet it sneaks past my finest men. I need your help, Thorgil.
I'll do what we can, I promise you.
Oh, it sneaks? It doesn't just slaughter them in the process?
Sneaks past them. No fucking clue why. Anything that big, if I was able to sneak past my dwarves, I'd kill him. Hell, I want to kill him anyway for being little shit.
When did it all start?
Yeah, right before you get to that point, the doors slam open again, and in walks through a gnome, middle-aged. He's wearing a black robe down the front with what looks like almost like stars speckled on it of the world. Steven? It's his right.
I think.
I have to pee. I can still hear you.
Okay. Okay, so I'll speak a little bit louder for Steven. A gnome walks through wearing a long black robe that goes down almost to his ankles. Portly in nature. He's got a really big belly to him, a little bit fat in the jowls. Probably one of the fatter gnomes that you all have seen here. But the robe has these almost like shifting stars, like almost like a planetarium in motion, but it's on his robe itself. And he walks in, and his hair, which was probably white at some point, is dyed crazy white shock blue, like lightning blue. Like and on top of that, like it's probably got like 3 inches in every direction. It's like gelled and spiked.
Seems
every direction.
very familiar. Very familiar.
Walking out, and he walks in and he goes, well, Beavis Lightbringer. Blind my eyes and strip my cogs. I thought you were disowned from your family.
Ooh, that's a burn.
And Beavis, you recognize this as Leighton Blacklast, your ex-partner here in Gaslick. And now you all know why Beavis really hates people that dye their hair.
I didn't know I hated people that dyed their hair, so that's
I know.
good.
Yeah.
The Beavis knows now.
I figured that'd be a good little twist when Steven like really made it like solid that he hates people that dye their hair. I'm like, his rival totally dyes his hair.
So does he say anything to me past that?
No, he like walks in, he kind of like strides, and he's a little bit portly in nature. Like he's got like a good like 60, 70 pounds too much fat on his body.
Wait, for a gnome? So that
No, I mean like a normal person. Like,
Oh,
like
okay.
it's probably like 30 pounds for a gnome.
Okay, all right. So I guess I'll say Leighton.
He's kind of got sausage fingers, and
I thought you'd be too busy violating every possible ethical standard of a normal sentient creature to leave your lab.
Yeah, and he like lifts like one dyed blue eyebrow at you, and he goes, I don't think anyone could really do as worse as you, old friend.
Did you read that Skype message I sent you?
No, hold on.
Do it really quick, because I was planning on talking about it, and if you don't agree with me, it would make no sense what I was saying. It's the Echo Heroes of popcorn. They probably have like roasted corn.
That totally works, Steve.
Delicious. Okay, cool.
That's because that's kind of in line with what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he sits there and he like quickly like kind of like he knits his fingers and like rests it on his portly belly, and he goes, so what do you all have to do with the general here? And then like you see him like frown for us. He goes, "Oh, that's right. You must be called in for the same thing that I did." The
What?
thing
Lloyd?
that's
Lloyd?
like-
No. Wait, before he finishes, what? Loitering in public?
Yeah, he frowns and at you, and he goes, "I'm sorry. Aren't you supposed to be warming yourself on a rock or something?"
I will say to Riley, don't rise to the bait. He's a bit of a dick.
Yeah, he does come down to about mine.
That's pretty
Cheeky
good.
Yeah, you
bastard.
see him, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't realize we were lowering ourselves to dick jokes." Okay, well,
You mean
Some of
raise
us have to
Very
rise
hard
to the
with your
occasion for
high.
this.
Yeah.
and he goes, "Very well. Well, good to know the fantastic company." And he looks over at the general. He goes, "That you hired." With that, the general goes, "No, there's no reason to get feisty." And he looks over at you, Beavis, and for the first time he goes, "Well, shit. Didn't realize I hired both of you in the same mission." And then like he looks over at the scribe and he goes, "Expense report. Triple the cost. This is gonna be an expensive one."
In before
Don't say anything.
in before fight breaks out.
Yeah, exactly. And he goes, "Layton, please come in, sit down. I know you're a vegetarian, but can I get you anything that doesn't involve anything in this hall?"
I didn't know Layton was a vegetarian.
Now you do. And Layton just goes, "No, I'm trying to lose weight." And he taps his fat belly, and it jiggles a little bit as he sits down in a chair, and he goes, "Right." Or the general goes, "Right. So, we have a bit of a problem down here. As I was explaining before you made it here, Layton, we need to figure out what's going on. And right now, things are pretty dicey. The dwarves are fucking pissed. The gnomes, well, let's be honest, they don't really give a shit about us dwarves. But they're still part of the city, and I gotta take care of them. So I brought Priest Orgil in on this. Just so happens I brought Lightbringer Beavis in on this too. And I brought you, sir. And I need you all to find out what the fuck is going on in my city before the three colleges start jumping down my throat and tweaking my bunghole. Can you do that
At the same
for me?
time.
Yes, at the same time. There's three of them, for fucking God's sakes. Can you do that for me?
Beavis, Layton, I don't exactly know what happened between you two. We are working together for this. Can you two set aside your differences?
I am nothing if not professional, as I chew on my greasy, dirty potato.
Yeah. Layton looks over at Beavis doing this, and he goes, "Hell no!" And he goes, "I work independently. I'd be more than happy to give my information that I find for you all, but working with him? Well, ask him about that sometime. He's a quitter."
It was difficult for him to be the second smartest person in the room.
And then he quickly like wiggles one of his fat sausage fingers, and he goes, "You were working on my golem, sir."
And how long were you working on that before I showed up?
He has that like where he like goes to like have a rebuttal, and he goes,
That's what I thought.
and then you see him like slowly like look up, like lean back in like the chair that he's sitting on. He goes, "Had some mighty fair advances since you decided to quit on us there, Beavis."
That would make Beavis very angry. I don't know what the name of our creation is yet, but Beavis will say, if you've touched insert blank his name, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I want a name. Let's come up with a name.
I can't think of one though, so I don't
Potato.
want to do it. Potato the Golem. That's
Really?
Okay, so
No.
Steven, your homework for next week is to figure out what potato is an anagram for.
okay. Yeah, because I'm not going with potato.
Like prototype something like blah 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 blah.
Oh,
blah.
okay.
Like
No, I was
POT,
Frankie
potato.
Beavis is solid. No, I'll come up with a name, but for now we can just like leave
Yeah.
it out.
We'll wave over it, but and he goes, no, he was but the first. I've advanced far beyond him now after your 7-year hiatus, Beavis.
Riley is intrigued a little bit.
Visibly.
And then
A little bit.
like he slowly like whips his head over to kind of the head tilt, and he goes, "My Sir General, consider this problem solved and done." And he goes, "I cannot account for these fellows, but I expect within the week your problem will be solved now that the Black Blasts are on the case."
Well, the least of the Black Blasts.
Yeah, he just one of those, "Ah!" and like leans, just sits there, not even giving a rebuttal. And so he leans forward and he goes, "So, General, where should we start? What would be your recommendation?" As to speed these things up. And the general goes, "Well, if I was gonna start anywhere, I'd start at the first murder. That was actually honest." And he looks over at Beavis and he goes, "Kind of near your college."
The Round Table. What could they have had to do with this?
Not quite sure. And immediately after, Leighton goes, "Probably had something to do with it."
But that's what he sounds like.
When he's being pompous asshole.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
I like that.
And the general goes, now, Leighton, no one's guilty yet, but that is the best place to look. Start at the beginning. Learn the methods of whatever this person or thing is, and bring it down. Just make sure that these problems don't continue." At that, Leighton stands up and he starts walking out the door, and he kind of waves one of those "No problem, ta-ta," and walks out the door. What do you guys do?
I go, no problem. Tough.
I'll ask